Hey, Andrew,
Hello, everybody. I guess I'm the special guest.
you're the special guest. You're my mystery guest. I love you so much for coming on. I actually did not know that they were going to do the Real Housewives. They were going to do Vanderpump Rules Part 2. I didn't know they were going to do it tonight, the next night. So I called you in a panic, like, listen, do you want to come? So first of all, I love you and, everybody loves you. But
Aw.
second of all, I was like in a panic because I was like, oh my God, who am I going to talk to? I need somebody who's fun to talk to about it. And so you were such a good friend to come on last minute. I didn't even have time to promote this. So we'll have to see if anyone figures it out that it's even happening. Because I
Yep.
promoted it like an hour ago on Twitter and like 3 hours ago on Instagram. So let's get started. Let me just make sure that we're on, first of all, because I never can tell. Oh, hi,
We are.
everybody.
All right.
Okay.
Let me open. Yes. Okay. There we go.
You got
Got the
it?
chat all figured
All
out.
right.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's start off. Okay. I want to talk about things that shocked me tonight. And then I want to talk about Jennie's apology. I know that's not Vanderpump, but I really want to talk about Jennie's apology that she just dropped.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to say about the reunion, which was really shocking to me, I want to start with Randall, Emmett, and Lala. Is that
Okay.
okay?
Totally fine, because those are the people that I actually care about genuinely.
Okay, good.
And I know this might sound a little sacrilegious to say here, and you guys want to know the only reason I care about Lala?
Why, baby?
Because I saw her on Heather McDonald's podcast. I don't like Heather McDonald, yet I just liked this episode of this podcast for a second.
So you liked Lala when she did her interview with Heather?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Heather and her are friends, and
Yeah.
Heather is also friends with Randall, but I think Heather is likely closer to Lala than Randall.
Yeah, I think so too. You could tell in the interview. Sorry, everyone. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get adjusted. I've got a brand new camera set up, and this is like a whole thing.
I got a new phone. Want to see it?
Yes.
Look
Sorry,
at it.
everybody. This has turned into show and tell now.
I do this every time. I can't help it. I get excited. Look.
Oh,
It's
is that
blue.
the Pro? Oh, but she's so pretty.
Thank you.
I feel like Lisa Rinna right there. Oh, she's pretty.
She's pretty. Oh my goodness. Did you see that they lightened Lisa Rinna's face?
Oh my God. I'm going to be honest, everybody. Never in my life did I ever think we were going to have 2 Black cast members on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But there we were. There we were.
Oh, Lisa.
That was bad, everybody. I'm so sorry. And the fact that Garcelle didn't clock her.
I know.
Hopefully she'll clock her at the reunion.
I know. Well, I don't even know how that technicality happened. Like, holy, what was happening there? Like, how does a tan go that wrong? That's all I want to know. Okay. So here's what I really was shocked by. Emmett, I guess, borrowed the $150,000 from someone to take half of that person's percentage in the sandwich shop. Did you hear this?
Sandwich shop? Okay.
Okay.
I have a question. What is it with this franchise and having restaurants upon restaurants upon restaurants? I am so sorry. Dana, you have lived in California. You have lived in the area.
I mean, especially during COVID, like kind of an unsafe investment, right?
Like, there are too many, so many restaurants.
Oh, here it is.
Like,
okay.
We aren't going to branch out into like a sunglass hut. We aren't going to branch out into like, I don't know, a boutique that these people are doing. Like, give me some idea of what's going on here, people.
Well, okay. So I agree that it's very strange that like the show is built upon restaurants and like it's a really precarious business to open a restaurant right now with the COVID restrictions changing and everything. And I did think it was a little strange, the sandwich shop idea, which is called Something About Her. I love the name though. But my thing with it was what really shocked me is it came out tonight that Katie had a friend that was approached by Randall allegedly to give Randall $150,000 to invest in Katie and Ariana's sandwich shop. And then Randall's hustle was going to be that he was going to take this other guy's money, allegedly, and then take half a percentage for himself of the sandwich shop. So he was going to be like, here's 150,000 for me and my partner. Okay. And then he was going to take a half, whatever they gave him for shares. He was going to take half and give it half to the 150,000 guy and take half for putting the deal together and not put up any money. And that's allegedly what Katie said that her friend told her. But what makes it worse is Randall went to a friend of Katie's who Katie could have gone to.
Okay. And like, okay, when the show first started, it was like 20-year-olds waiting on tables. The problem is some of these people are now like 30 and like they have to live like adult lives. And now we're starting to question like, oh, Scheana's music career really didn't work out. And now they have to go from like trying to make it as actors and actresses and singers and dancers and whatever you want to do in California and Los Angeles to now having to have failed business dealings about sandwich shops.
No, I know. It's really strange. I totally get it. But what's weird to me is that Randall didn't use his own 150,000. And I know I'm going back to that, but that was really shocking.
It's the bootleg Shark Tank. It's the bootleg Shark Tank.
What is the bootleg Shark Tank? I love it. Let's talk about that. What is that?
I mean, you guys know the show Shark Tank. They come over there, you get your investors, you get 10% stake in a company, and Barbara Concord or, Mr. Wonderful will give,
Mr. Shark or what? I mean, yeah, one of the guys.
They'll give, $150,000 or whatever it is. But now Randall is robbing Peter to pay Paul in this foreign investment scandal of sandwich shops.
So it's just, yes. And what it shows is like, I'm kind of in shock. I really am. I always thought Randall was like himself a funder. I didn't know that he just went out to other funders. You know what I mean?
This is a little surprising knowing the fact that this man owed you money at one point.
Okay, I might have thought that was not that surprising, but I'm just trying to be nice. So
I'm sorry. Maybe
that's okay.
You call Randall, if you're watching, don't get
call
mad at
me on my bullshit. It's okay. All right.
Randall, don't get mad at Dana. Get mad at me.
Yeah. Get mad at Andrew. It's not me.
Please block me on Instagram. You can be added to my block list.
Now, listen, I want to know, Andrew, did you think Lala's comments aged well that you saw tonight on part 2 when they did the montage?
They aged like poor milk. Sorry. I mean, again, from what I've seen, I like Lala. I really do. But I am just, I just feel like the relationship was always poised to be awkward because of the significant age gap. And I know that sometimes age gaps work. I know that sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I think at that pivotal point in time in Lala's career and the situations that she was going into, I just think that Randall was too old. And I think that
do you feel bad for Lala? Because she was, I guess the idea here is, should you feel bad for Lala given that she was the mistress to Randall with the previous wife, although she's saying that she didn't know he was still married? The cast is implying with their facial expressions that how could she not know? And so it's almost this, and Brock is implying that she knew, but she turned off her like, she didn't look at it because she was getting so much money and wealth from him. So the question is, should you feel bad? And everyone, you can feel free to answer too. Should you feel bad for Lala now in her situation that Randall has left her for, I guess, like not any particular woman, but like maybe just to be single? Or she left him and he's okay with it, whatever.
It's really not that. I mean, I definitely think that I feel bad, but I also think that like, you know what you're signing up for. Oh, thank you so much, Haley. Haley, I hope that's how
yeah, I know. Haley, hi.
Basically, just I feel that. I mean, it's not that surprising, and we don't think that we should be sorry for her because at the end of the day, she kind of assumed her position. And I hate to bring this up, but like Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, I'm listening to you, Andrew. I gotta get away for a second. Like,
no problem. Like some people revere Monica Lewinsky as this feminist heroes, and other people say that she slept with a known married man, and hopefully I can say that on YouTube Live. Everyone, please don't kill me.
Yeah.
But and I think it's the same situation with Lala. I mean, I definitely think that she knew that he was married, and once a cheater, always a cheater, and I think that's always should be on the forefront of her mind. And also, I definitely think that this plays into the East Coast West Coast dynamics, in my opinion. And I'll get into this in a second. But to me, I feel like East Coast women know how to make relationships last, in my opinion. And they know what to do to properly trap a man. Like, if you're an East Coast woman marrying for money.
Is this your instruction manual on how to properly, like, get a man?
Yes, it is.
Trap
Okay.
a man, trap a man.
Like, to literally latch your talons into this person and make them physically inseparable from you. Because, like, I've noticed this with, like, East Coast women. They can literally be married for 50 years. 50 years, hold that man's hand till he dies and get left with everything. West Coast women, sometimes it's not always the case. But, and I think it's the same case for Lala. She was gorgeous. She's got a great career. There's more things for her down the road. But she should have made that man so dependent on her that if that woman literally left for a day, that they could not spend a moment away from him, she could not spend a moment away from him because he would lose all sense of reality. And we saw that Lala would let him go on business trips and all these things. And like she revealed in the course of this episode of the reunion that she was like, oh, he went to here and I thought it was just normal and I turned a blind eye. What? And then that he's been married. He's already got, 2 kids from one woman.
From another model girl.
And at the end of the day, I just will always feel bad for like the first woman, And I think when I mentioned Hillary and Monica, I definitely think that my stance, I definitely don't revere Monica Lewinsky. I guess I could say that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have to say, I feel bad for Lala's baby, but I don't feel bad for Lala, unfortunately. And I was talking about this with someone tonight. This is what I think. This is my theory. Okay. I think that Randall, like a lot of men in LA, they have to always be with like supermodels to feel good about themselves because they have low self-esteem, and they get self-esteem by saying, look at the hot chick that loves me. That must mean I'm hot shit, right? But the truth is that it's covering up their insecurity, that they aren't feeling good about themselves. And instead of going for a girl that actually might really like them, that maybe isn't a supermodel, let's face it, right? Who could be with like the hottest guy ever, right? Yeah. Maybe if you chose someone who actually really loved you for you and might be more, still beautiful, but maybe not like all it is their beauty, right? Yeah. You might actually find someone who loves you for you, and like that connection might make you be loyal instead of always going for a model to make you feel good. Because what happens is, like everything, you suddenly wake up and you realize this girl didn't ever love you. She only wants your money. And of course you're going to feel like resentment towards her and want to cheat on her.
Exactly. And sometimes that like Lala, and I hate to say this, but like Lala, I don't think could ever be enough for someone like Randall. And I know I'm about to get terrorized in the comments and people are definitely going to have their own opinion on that. And Dana, I mean, what you just said was so brilliantly and so well put.
I love you, Andrew.
Like, I'm sorry, I just had to say that. But like, Lala, I think that some people, and I don't just want this to sound mean, but could lack intelligence and sustenance in daily conversation. And I feel for some people that's really important, and that's part of building a relationship. And if you can't, and if you're wanting to get married to this man and that this is something that you're starting to notice, put the work in yourself too. Like, and I think relationships are, of course, and will always be a two-way street. And I think you can't put in a little bit of work and expect the other person to put in literally tearing up the road and reconstruct it while you just fixed potholes along the way. I don't feel that Lala put in enough work into the relationship from what I've been able to gather.
Well, I think there's another side of, let's look at it from a different perspective. Lala knows she's 10 times hotter than Randall. She can get any man she wants at any time. She's got fame. She's got celebrity. She can pull that card too. So she's like a badass bitch in her own right? Right? Yeah. So she is probably feeling like, why should I have to do that much work with Randall? He's lucky to have me. He's not as good looking as I am. Sure, he's successful, but there's a million of him. I could replace him tomorrow, right?
See, that's a dangerous way to think, though. And if like by any small chance you are watching this, I would just like to say that's a very
Probably
dangerous
Randall's watching a Noella, but yeah.
That's a very dangerous way to think, because you need to treat you if you're in a relationship, you need to treat it like there's a war going on. You need to pick your friends like there is a war going on. You want to find a husband who would literally take a bullet for you instead of literally point to the attic and say they're upstairs. That's like the level of like you need to be there. Like you need to treat this man. He is a god on earth. And yes, that is like so bad, and I know it's putting feminism back 50 years and everything that like what so many brave women have fought to achieve. But I just think that like if you treat your partner like there's no one else in the world who could ever capture your love, then it becomes true.
When Andrew, if you can find that love, that's huge. But you know, as you
You don't
get
even need to.
older, the biggest challenge you're going to find is actually finding someone that you can trust, that you can love and cater to like that won't be abusive or take advantage of you. Like it is easier said than done.
I
And I'll
know.
tell you something. I was talking to my aunt about this the other day.
Mm.
I was saying that a lot of the women on this show in Vanderpump Rules, I see like a few different types of women, but the one thing that I noticed was the girls with like a strong family, meaning the parents are very present. Raquel, she called off her engagement and was like, I'm in an abusive relationship, I'm out. And she called it off and they called it brave. But what it really was that Raquel had a supportive family to say, Dad, Mom, I need a timeout. Sis, I need a timeout. I need to go to a safe place. I need to regroup. I need to decide, you know, I'm in a bad relationship. I need a second. Okay. And her family stepped up and supported her, were awesome. But Lala and Scheana, they have great moms, but they're supporting their moms and they're taking care of their moms, and their moms can't do that for them. And I don't think they have dads that can do that for them. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I guess I'm saying without that strong family, you end up being kind of shoved with a player or an abusive person because you're trying to be saved. You're trying to you don't have a backdrop position to go to. You're like, if you don't, you know, you leave Randall, let's say, your whole world explodes. She's now the breadwinner, like the baby's counting on her. Like I don't know what their situation is right now, but like if he cuts her off, it's all on her. She's supporting her mom, the baby. Like it's a whole different thing, and it's not as easy to be brave. And you know, when you don't have family to rely on. So a lot of women in LA become sugar mom, you know, get sugar daddies, get with these gross guys because they have to serve. It's like they see it like survival.
Yeah.
And
And
they
okay.
once they're in it, the man takes all the power. He pays all the bills, all the clothes, all the lifestyle. And if they want to take a time out, if they don't have a family like Raquel, they're screwed. They're on the street.
Yeah. And okay, let me just say this. If you are one of those girls in those situations,
Yes,
you
tell
know,
us.
that you can't leave, you know, that realistically, but I'm going to teach you how to stack your eggs, okay? Like how to nestle and make a life for you with just kind of something else. Go to the grocery store. First of all, if you go to the grocery store, you make dinner that's going to make you look more appealing. Sorry, that's just one little tip. And like you go to Whole Foods. If you go there and you go to the grocery store and you do the self checkout and you can get like, oh, I want $10 cash back, that marks it as if you like got it from the grocery store. Like if he ever checks the receipt, like, oh, you spent $78 on groceries when realistically you only spent 22.
Is this how you're saying to hustle if you're in a bad relationship, to hustle money out of the guy without him knowing so you can escape?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay,
Life
that's a
lesson.
book, Andrew. Just write the book. I mean, that'll sell out, bitch.
I'm sorry. Like that's how you do it. You just do little things like that, and it's $100 here, $100 there. You know, you look for bags with resale
You know, me too,
investment.
Hallie. How do you know why? That's why I can tell the stories so clearly, honey. Go ahead.
Yep,
Sorry, Andrew.
I know. But you do that, and I mean, maybe this could save someone like Lala or another girl who's going to be, like Haley says right now, leveraged by a man. Like I
Yeah.
think that they're almost like leeches in some cases, you know, when they just suck and suck and suck until there's nothing left in some of these women and they're just, you know, on the streets with nothing and they lose all hope.
No, it really does. And it happens really fast because you start, women in LA get power through men a lot of the time. And the men, they build their whole identity through the man. So what happens is like, I'm now like, I don't want to make a parallel to Meghan Markle, but I will. Like Meghan Markle overnight became a princess. Right.
Yeah.
Like, not really, but not a princess, a duchess or whatever, but, royalty. Okay.
Yeah.
And my point is, she's going to derive a lot of self-esteem from being that duchess, let's say, right? But she didn't do anything to be the duchess. She married Prince Harry. And if Prince Harry suddenly left her, dumped her, like let's say that she never even married him and she was just hanging around and being treated like the potential duchess, she would immediately lose her entire identity if he left her. And that happens to so many women because they don't get respected in their own right, or they stop building their career to live off the guy because he takes over and is like so powerful. Like you could never be him. You can't make $100 million. You can make $1 million. So then you stop making $1 million. You could be with $100 million guy.
Exactly.
I need to work out.
I know. You're just like fist pumping.
I was like, holy shit, I really gotten flabby. Okay, God.
But like, honestly, and there's the thing, like, and that's one thing that if you're like, for me, I have a rule, like, and I think that this is, again, life lessons from Andrew, everybody. As Dana says, I should write the book. Thank you so much. But like, if you're with more than a guy for 6 months, have someone negotiate a prenup for you. And you need to see that, don't be scared of a prenup. If you present the prenup first, it can honestly work in your favor because there are things called marital assets, things that marital alimony, spouse alimony, child alimony. There's all these different things that can change and fluctuate. And a marriage is the most serious thing that you can ever get involved in. It is more significant than getting birth in some cases because you are legally binding your assets with another person. And if that other person is a high net worth individual, you need to be careful because you not only need to protect yourself. And I think we went over Sonja Morgan's divorce together, right? And I outlined all the assets and everything that
on the
like,
Patreon. Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that, you guys are subscribed.
No, Andrew and I have some epic shows on the Patreon. If you haven't been in there,
we talk about Luann. Like we go in depth on New York. It's pretty fun. But we see how like these women they this legitimately. You look at Sonja's ex-husband, John Adams, they listed, I think, $90 million, and it was a nice, clean number, which we all know he was hiding a lot of things from her. And she literally listed, as they scrounged, literally every single penny, $16 million, and it was like every single number so precise, ending in 48 cents.
Yeah.
And we see these women at the end, they're so broken.
Yeah.
Because they see that their youth or their good looks are the things that propel them. But that's not really what's going to make a marriage last. And if you go into that saying, oh, I'm so much hotter than him.
I am so much better, you guys. I'm back. COVID's gone. I'm so happy. Okay, sorry.
Thank the Lord. But you literally look at that stuff. And I think Lala is a great example. I mean, you look at her. I literally looked at her within 6 months and you can see the filler that she's gotten in. That little nips and tucks that, I'm not shaming anybody for plastic surgery. Heck, I'm possibly one of the biggest advocates. Ask anybody I know. I celebrate National Botox Day. Like, that's my advocacy for plastic surgery. But just, you see that, you look in the mirror and you see that, like, oh, he's not with me anymore. Maybe I should get my cheeks done. Maybe I should get the filler in and the pics and
You've been taught well, Andrew.
Thank you so much. So then,
well, I think what what we're saying, I think is, if you decide to be with a wealthy man and do the Lala game with like Randall, you better get your contract set up front, right?
Yes.
And not on the back end, and not because, better to get it out of the way. If don't derive your identity from him because he could be gone
tomorrow.
And if you don't think he's that hot, chances are he's not going to love you because he's going to sense you don't think he's that hot. He's going to eventually dump your ass anyway because he's going to see you as a user and resent you ultimately, right?
Beauty fades. Dumb is forever. I'll say that.
Okay, well, we'll go with that one too. That's a bumper sticker. All right, bringing it back. So I want to talk about Brock versus Lala. Okay. Did you notice the chemistry between Brock and Lala? Like
Absolutely. Also, can we
what's
talk about
happening with that?
first things first, can we talk about how stupid a name is a Brock is?
Brock,
Brock.
it's Brock.
Like, okay,
Brock the Rock.
does it say that on his birth certificate?
I guess so. He's from Australia. I mean, that's a popular name maybe in Australia. I don't know. I'm not from there. So. Well, I'll tell you what. Few things really blew my mind about I first of all, Brock and Lala going at it. How did you guys feel about Brock and Lala fighting? Okay. I need to know. Did you feel
it boosts the
uncomfortable?
ratings. I could see that. It already boosted the ratings. Vanderpump Rules last night was the highest rated it's been all season.
Well, it was part one reunion. It better be.
Yeah. And then tonight's expected to do even better because of the trailer and all that stuff and people rewatching. So I think they needed this fight, in my opinion, to secure another season. So that makes me always want, because there was real questions about if it was going to be canceled. So I think that they did. I think this fight was not, I would say, exaggerated for the camera. I would have to say it was not,
Sorry, I was looking at the spa day. Somebody wants to go on a spa day with you.
Oh my goodness. I can give you great spas.
Yeah. We'll go. We'll do it. We'll go on a journey. Well, I'll tell you what made me uncomfortable about it. I agree with Lala and I agree with Lisa Vanderpump that Brock has really, just because you own that you hit your wife, just because you own that you, are trying now to pay your child support. I didn't get the sense that he was prioritizing, as Lisa and Lala kind of called out, the child support, which means he's not prioritizing reconnecting with his kids. I did make that connection like Lisa did. And that's made me question his whole character. Well, you know what I'm saying? I really feel like.
And if you. Well, one thing that I noticed when they were talking about this on the second part, that, okay, this might have been really weird for me to fixate on, but as they're doing this and they're doing the back and forth between the characters, that's what I want to call them, characters. We see that they close up on Scheana's engagement ring 4 times in this thing, which makes me wonder. First of all, it's Moon's Night or whatever it is. So
Morganite, Moon's Night. I love that. Let's make that stone a thing.
I think it is
Morganite.
It's just a cheap little stone that they kept zooming in on while everyone's going into Brock. Stupidest name ever. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to come up with another name for this man. I can't
call him Ron. Andy did.
Okay, we're gonna call him Ron because I feel like I'm losing 2 brain cells every time I say that word. Yeah. So Ron is, being ripped. Rob is being torn apart into shreds by everyone over here because he's an incompetent moron. Oh, maybe that's a little too mean. But
what do you think about him not paying his child support?
Oh, I think it's completely expected because I don't think he knows what box to check on his checking account. I don't think he knows how to log on.
He prioritized. Lisa brought up that he bought on credit, purportedly this ring, which I think he got for free, but he's saying he bought it on credit card, on 3 different credit cards on credit. And he claims it's like $20,000. And then he claims that he was going to pay all this other stuff. But the big question is, why are you doing these outrageous expenditures if you haven't brought your child support up to date? And that's the one thing that your wife is requiring for you to see your kids. I mean, it's a very simple question. Why aren't you doing that? And if Scheana loves him so much, then she would help him get that, not pay it, but help him make that the priority to fix that family dynamic so then they could go and live a free life, however that manifests.
Well, just my opinion. I think she has, because I can definitely notice that she's gotten the discount Botox off Groupon.
You hate her face. What happened?
No, I'm sorry.
Why do you hate Scheana's face so much?
Okay, the thing is, I looked at her from her Good as Gold cover to now, okay? And I looked at those two, and I was literally looking how tan she was, how her teeth were all messed up, her lips had been obviously done, her face. And again, I'm not shaming anyone. Just don't do the discount Botox off Groupon. People, again, don't cheap. Lessons from Andrew. Don't cheap out on the face.
Oh my gosh, no. Like, go
That's
with the
what this
good
woman is
stuff.
doing. Like, okay, you cheaped out on the ring. You cheaped out on child support. Maybe you should cheap out and move to the Midwest because, like, I'm sorry, you get a lot more bang for your buck, and nobody will care about you there because nobody cares about you here. Like, as we're having to hear about this, and also, I don't think that Brock really wants kids, like, that he wants to see his kids, as much as he was like, boo hoo, I want to see my kids, I love my
I love
kids.
how do your Brock impression. Let's pause and bring me the Brock impression now. Don't just skim over that. Do it.
I want to see my kids. Boo hoo, like boo hoo hoo boo hoo. I love my children. I love my ex-wife. I love Scheana. Stupid man. Oh my god.
That's me yelling at the TV you right now, Andrew. You stupid man.
Literally, as I was watching this, I was like, oh my god, Scheana. For once in my life, I actually felt bad for Scheana Shea or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Scheana Gold or
Sorry,
whatever
I'm not scrolling, guys.
She has to literally crawl into bed with that every single night, and he probably literally has to say something really stupid like, hey Scheana, did you know that our blood is actually blue? Like, I bet you he says that. I bet you he honest to God believes that. Or Scheana, do you know I misplaced the button on child support, so then I gave $400 million to my new Indian prince friend from Nigeria? Like, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Like, so stupid.
Yeah, it's really strange. I don't know. I don't get it. And I don't get why she thinks he's hot either. But anyway, I guess to each their own. Okay. So let's talk about do you think it's a red flag that someone's cheating on you if they are A, never home, B, always on their phone, and C, showing up on the web with girls in other pictures? Do you think that's a sign? I'm wondering. I'm naive.
Well, I think, okay, first of all, look at his past. Look at his, see, Lady T, you get it. You get it. He's a walking Neanderthal. He's a walking pre-human. Like, we're back like 13,000 years ago, and humans are just starting to like form. That's Brock.
That's awesome. That's a meme. We should make that meme. What were you saying? Do you think it's a sign that those are red flags for cheating?
Oh, absolutely. Okay, and look at Randall's history. Look at all these things, Lala. Look at the fact that he's even with you. Realistically, look at the fact that he's with you.
That's interesting.
I know. And then also, just like and I don't want to make this point, but I'm gonna have to. Randall is incredibly nouveau riche. And this is a sign with nouveau riche men to do things like this, to treat their women as accessories. And I know that like some people here definitely have experience with that, or maybe have given that experience to someone. But that there's definitely that feeling with someone who's incredibly nouveau riche. And you see that there, and it's just a tacky display of like trying to one-up someone, And I think he's trying to get into an old boys club that he just won't ever get into with the wife who gets younger and younger as he gets older and older. I mean, the women, I bet you by the time he's 70, he'll be dating an 18-year-old if there's any money left.
Well, in LA, I mean, that's so normal.
I know. But
look at Diana Jenkins' husband, Roger Jenkins or whatever. He ended up with a young chickaroony after her. We'll be learning more about that, I'm sure, when that season 12 comes out. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Did you think that Katie was right? You guys can chime in on this, please. Katie, do you think Katie was right that Ariana doesn't understand the importance of weddings and engagement parties and things like that because she's not that into marriage? She doesn't want to ever be married. Do you think, because Katie was saying that Ariana, was kind of had Scheana and Brock's back about trying to get married during James's and Raquel's engagement party, because she said that, it wasn't a big deal. And what's the big deal? And Katie was like, you don't think it's a big deal because you don't get what those ceremonies are about because you don't like want to be ever married. And I actually agreed with Katie, so I wanted to hear your take on that.
Okay. Like, this was so stupid in my opinion. Okay, first of all, you've heard of the term shotgun wedding.
Yeah.
This brings shotgun wedding to a whole nother extreme.
I know, right? Like, excuse me, can I get married at your wedding?
No, it's like, okay, I know this is your moment, but I want it to be my moment too. Like, okay, my scenario is, if it was any other event, say it was, the fall of the Berlin Wall, would China really be bad for upstaging the breaking of the Great Wall of China? That's how I would put it. If it would be ridiculous in that context, then it would be ridiculous in this context.
Do you think she was right or wrong?
Oh, no, Katie was absolutely right.
Yeah, I thought so too. Because I don't think there was any rationale in the world that you could come up with that Brock and Scheana should ever have tried to get married at someone's party that they're doing for their wedding. Now, that said, what really pissed me off is that Raquel and James basically lied all season that they were together. Because if you didn't read between the lines on they haven't had sex in 2.5 years, and they were kind of going through the motions to keep the storyline going on the show, that's what happened. So I was like, why did you force me to watch a whole gosh dang season about you guys getting engaged and getting all this married crap, and you guys weren't even really together, and then you decide to tell me at the reunion? I was pissed.
I was literally like watching all this, and they said, oh, we decided to call it quits for the both of us, and we could tell. And I was just, oh my God, these imbecilic people going up every single, like, how do you wake up every single day and look at yourself in the mirror and say, wow, I'm a blithering idiot? That's literally like what these people are. That they can just literally drag out storylines for an entire season, go to a reunion, show up and say, it was a Tuesday, didn't really feel it, not anymore.
That pissed me off so much.
I was just, this entire season, it reminded me why,
Oh no. Ooh. No. You got to address that.
Literally, I'm fine with her. I literally still talk to her all the time.
Yeah, they're back there. She hates me. She doesn't hate Andrew.
I know.
Actually, she hates me. Yeah. I don't know why. I love Sherelle. I watch her shit. She hates me. Doesn't hate Andrew. Andrew and her, great.
love her to death. I think her family's great.
They had a moment. It happens all the time. You guys see that on YouTube and whatever. Yeah. All good now. Okay, I like James even when he's drunk. I like James too, but he definitely is a narcissist. And like,
don't we love to see that though on television? Though?
Yeah, for sure.
Be honest.
Yeah, because they're so self-absorbed. It's like you go, wow, I wish I could be that much of an asshole.
It's almost sexy.
Yeah, it could be. Not that I'm in the place. Brock, look at his proposal, set up balloons. I know. I totally agree. Spent $21,000 in a commercial for his business. Yeah, that was weird. Do you really think he did though? I mean, I don't know. I don't think if I was to say it, I don't think they're ever going to get married. I think they did this whole engagement thing for a storyline to bring Brock in on the show, to bring money in for him. So they could get
double paychecks.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that there's a better chance of their Mercedes A-Class is about.
Oh yeah, this was so long ago, you guys. Adam and Andrew are friends too now. It's all been fixed. I fixed it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Andrew.
I've actually always been legal. It's a whole thing, but oh my God, people are just.
Oh, I know. Oh yeah. Oh, by the way, you guys, just so you know, when Andrew ever appears on any stuff with me, he's always had his parents, when he was younger, sign a release that he could talk to me and do everything properly. Yeah. We do everything on the up and up at Dishing Drama, Dana.
I swear to God, like, you people think that we're all just stupid. We're all walking around with no NDAs, no contracts, no nothing. No, oh my God.
No, Andrew's, he's legit. He's legit.
Yeah, sorry. Again, all these people. I love you all, but like, my goodness.
Well, it's actually kind of fun. YouTube drama can be more fun than the crap we're watching on Bravo.
I know.
I'm telling you. All right. My husband watched VPR with me. He turned to me and said, "Who watches this stupid crap?" That's probably why Andrew said stupid. If we were doing shots of tequila for every time Andrew said stupid tonight, right? Right? Or like
I
ignorant.
felt my brain cells dying, everybody.
We would be definitely drunk.
Neurological passages in my brain falling apart and I literally felt like I left feeling dumber. I left feeling dumber, everybody. I felt terrible. And now my poor thought is, what are these poor children who all of these people, the Vanderpump baby pact over here, are producing if they have to be around these people? Because think about it, if the children are our future, then we are royally screwed with these people as parents.
So that was a bring up of the green card. A lot of people think that Brock, first of all, I wanted to call this out, guys. What Brock said on the show made no sense. The investor visa where you get something for $500,000 in most cases has to generate a certain amount of jobs, and it's not based on the valuation of your company. It's based on a literal cash investment to a certain amount that actually the byproduct is jobs and approval. Now there is in many countries a real estate investor visa, but generally speaking the US doesn't give those at the low 500,000 threshold. Places like Spain do. But the US has like I forget what it is now. It's like $1 million.
It's a crazy high limit.
Threshold, for real estate, and it's also going to be a pre-approved entity that's doing the real estate. It can't be like a house. So you're like, oh, let me buy that house. Okay, yeah, that doesn't work. The investment that he was talking about, the lower one, that's to create jobs, like that someone investing that creates jobs in the US, and you have to guarantee those jobs for a certain period of time and all this crap. So, and they're really hard to get. So when he was saying that he got this business and he invested in, his valuation of his business was $500,000, because Lisa's like, where'd you get $500,000? Because Lisa knew that was BS, obviously. She, if anyone, probably did take advantage of the real investment visa. So, because she can in a restaurant investment or in a real estate investment that's really high level. So, I mean, when she called him out on that whole thing he came up with like my valuation of my company, I was like, wow.
No, like, and that's one thing. And if Brock can spell green card, I will personally oversee someone to get him a green card if he can spell the word green card, if we can spell the 2 words green card. Again, Brock, we're all rooting for you here.
Donna, you got him, and that's good. Listen, everybody needs to have an opinion, and I love everyone's opinion. I embrace it, and I change my mind. Sometimes I think someone's a total loser, and then I like them. It happens. Look at Randall. Oh my God, remember?
I know.
I've done a 360 on him, so see, it can happen, and maybe I'll do a 360 again. Never know with me.
I know. Who knows?
I'm a wild card. All right. So let's see really quick. I know you don't have a lot of time, but I really want to talk about, before we go, do you want to talk about Jennie's apology and tell everyone what happened?
Everybody gather around, because I sat through that 17-minute apology, so you all didn't have to. So she got her black gay best friend, who was there to be a figurehead, who spoke for her through this entire thing. And Dana literally had to turn this off halfway through because she just couldn't. Because, this woman was going around in circles basically saying, back in 2020, I was a spa manager and I had all these different businesses and I had kids and I needed to hire a social media managing team. Okay, first of all, there's like 7 different holes with that story. Okay.
So she was saying she delegated her Facebook where these awful posts were posted. And she delegated it to someone else, but she was taking accountability for it because it was her media channel. Is that correct?
No.
Okay.
So she was basically saying that, yes, I had a personal account and I also had a business account, but she never revealed who was in charge of the business and who was in charge of the personal account. Like, that's what I was trying to get at. And this is not, and Jennie for the first time outwardly said today that she was a Republican, which, first of all, I have no gripe with. Okay, that is not my problem with this conversation at all. It's the fact that you are finally free from your Bravo contract, that they just took the contract they had with you and literally tore it apart, ripped it up to shreds, and are basically allowing you to say whatever. And instead of taking this time to, you know what you could have done? You could have went on Fox News or a conservative news outlet, made so much money off of exploiting what you just had happen to you. But now you're just going to say, oh, you're not going to do anything with the situation. And that to me is why I'm not liking this. Because instead of Jennie taking a firm stance on what side she's in, because she didn't say she apologized for it, but she also didn't say that she accepted what she said or still believed it. You know, there was still this very gray area. And she's trying to test the waters to see which percent of her fan base is going to react to where. And also, I think she's buying followers right now.
Well, you know, what you said was really interesting. I've noticed a phenomena that was not around during my days when I was on Housewives, and that is that the housewives study the fans and they read their reaction to things, and then they make their response adhere to the reaction of the fans in advance. So they take on the fans' opinion. So what I saw her doing in her apology was she's gotten a lot of support from um, what she calls, and I'm going to stress that, what she calls Republican Trump type things, right? So she has gotten a lot of support about freedom of speech, and that's her opinion and all that. But she also got hate from the Black Lives Matter movement, other
conservatives, to quote unquote conservatives, for not taking a firm enough stance.
Democrats, that she called out Democrats as a category. Now, I'm not doing this. This is not me.
This is
making these
her
This is
words
Jennie's words.
and her
so
demographics.
What she's doing is she's basically trying to not lose the support she has.
Everybody.
She wants to not lose the support she has, but she wants to creep out into the people that hate her and try to get them in to supporting her again. But in the process of doing it, she lost me totally in the apology.
Exactly.
I was like, I go, what is this? This isn't what it's about.
Because
it's not about.
If I got mad at everyone who I didn't agree with 100%, I would have no friends. I would literally have no friends. So I was all for hearing Jennie out. I thought today it was going to be, yes, I did say those things. Did I think some of those things were too extreme? Yes. Do I agree with some of my statements? She could have said, okay. And I went through every single one of those Facebook posts. And I went through every single thing. She could have said, okay, I agree. I disagree with saying the comply. And then she should have had her Black gay friends say, you know, this was a turning point lesson for Jennie, because when I saw this, I was physically hurt. Okay, this is coming from someone whose dad works in political PR, Jennie. So if you're watching, please take notes so you can draft it.
Yeah, Andrew's dad is a political publicist, you guys, just so you know.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Andrew.
This is what you should have done. Okay, you should have went on, first of all, and doing the live was an okay idea, but you should have posted it afterwards. You should have made it more of a forum. Not really. You should have first said, I need to take accountability for my behavior, and you needed to said the date, the post, and all those things. On between these dates, I said posts that have recently resurfaced, and I said some truly terrible things or things I agree with. Insert whatever option you prefer. Then you need to pull up a post and say, I would like to refer to August 21st, 2020. Yes, it was only less than a little under a year and a half ago, but I've changed so much as a person, and I've become a much different person. I was a closed, isolated person who was closed-minded if you disagree. You need to come at these answers with compassion and not like you're trying to appear morally superior than the people who have just called you out. Because that's what she was coming off as. Morally superior, I'm washing my hands of the situation. And that's not the correct way to do it, because you're alienating everyone who kind of remotely liked you, you know? Because, and what I've noticed is conservatives are calling her not conservative enough. And what she is, this woman is probably one of the more conservative people that we've had on the networks in the past couple of years. But she's, in order to not lose 15% of her following in overnight, she's trying to appeal to everyone. And that's the downfall to me.
Well, first of all, I want to know, why is a spa social manager posting things about making fun of the Black Lives Matter movement at all? Like, what does that have to do with spas or medical procedures?
I can see that because, so for those of you guys, and if you look at the voting demographics, I actually looked at, so I found Jennie's address. Well, I found that. And I don't want to sound so
sneaky little Andrew.
But, and then I looked at the voter demographics for the past 4 election cycles in that zip code in Utah to find out that she lives in an area that is basically 96% Republican in her district suburb. Right. So that really wasn't surprising. We all know that Utah is a very conservative state. Again, I know that half those women, I know that Lisa Barlow, I guarantee you, hand on my heart, probably voted Republican in the past election.
Well, the jokes that she posted, someone, I get sent gossip like you, and you and I often will get we'll collaborate. And I got sent some posts that they had not, there were a few that were really circulating, all over Instagram, the same ones. But then I got sent some that were very political and that came from her feed. And that, it was, absolutely putting down other parties. I don't making a strong stance, putting down other parties. And so I just didn't understand why a spa,
I think it's because she lives in such a conservative area, basically.
Do you think that the spa was appealing to women who wanted to get Botox and stuff, and they were like, wow, she's an extreme, or this type of person? Is that it?
Yeah, basically, I feel that at the end of the day, I'm going to put it with the woman who I trust politically. She's a small local business, the massage envy,
And so that's how she, what I was kind of wishing she would say is that I didn't really understand what the Black Lives Matter movement meant.
Exactly. Okay.
And so I said some really ignorant things and that were really hurtful, and I'm disgusting, and I don't really have anything more to say. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I'm disgusting, and I didn't know.
She turned it over for the gay friend to basically say, I came down here. I don't live in Utah. He kept saying that over and over again. I don't live in Utah, and I came down for Jennie. I made her kids peanut butter and jelly and rice, and all my kids love her. I don't care about this man. We've never met this man. He's never been on television.
No, but see, the thing is that she missed it. What she did is she hurt. A lot of people in that movement, no matter how you feel about it, those people that were in that movement felt like they were risking their life for something they believed in.
Exactly.
And so you can't disrespect what their truth was. And we can't, you can tune it out, or you can just acknowledge.
Not agree with it.
Yeah, you can acknowledge it.
But they risked their lives for something that they believed
in.
They
did. That's it. And I hate to say it, but there's been different moments in our history all along, and people have been, thought to be right, thought to be wrong. That just depends on the, the time, the place, what's happening. I think at the end of the day, it's a tough situation, but I wish she just had said that I needed to understand more about that movement. I regret what I said. I feel like it's disgusting, and I'm sorry, and leave it there. Why not? What's the big deal? Why'd you have to say I'm a Republican and I have a choice and I have a right to my choice?
Then she also basically
what is this like?
But then she was downplaying the fact that she was a Republican. She tried to get back people who are quote unquote Democratic. Just take a firm stance, lady, and I could give you some respect. That's what I think it was for me. That's
really important, Andrew.
I just couldn't respect this woman at the end of this because she was selling out. That's the word I've been looking for. Sorry, people. She was selling out. And then speaking of selling out, I think we should talk about Noella.
Okay. You guys want to move on? Sorry, we had to talk about it because it was such huge news. I know it's an uncomfortable thing for some people,
Yeah. It's a little deep. It's a little dark.
It's intense, you know.
I know.
It's hard.
Did you like
I don't know what else to say. So let's go light now. Let's go take it out and let's go down a different trajectory. I'm going to brush my hair because I look gross. Okay.
You like that smooth
I'm in my
transition
PJs, you guys. Look, secretly, I'm in my PJs. Look.
Yeah. I love it. To be like Lisa Barlow. I love that. Love it. But yeah.
No, I did not see Heather visiting Mary's church. Are you kidding me?
We have to talk about that. So they're filming.
Did that really happen? I missed that.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
What? Oh my God, stop this. This is too devastating. This is too devastating for me. This is a lot of stuff for me to handle for little me. So what happened, Andrew?
Okay. So basically they go over to start filming this stuff and it was like a whole thing. And like Jen's there because they're really milking Jen for all she's worth before she goes away for 10 to 15 years.
Terrible. Go ahead.
What? It's
Compassion,
true.
Andrew.
You know it's true, Dana. You were in the documentary.
Compassion, Andrew. Go ahead.
But yeah, so they're really milking this girl for all she's worth because they aren't even going to get a Teresa Giudice special out of her. So, like in jail, hello from jail or something like that, or Teresa checks in or whatever they made for
the
Teresa.
phone call. Okay, so what? So why do you think Heather and Mary went to the church? Is Jen going to Mary's church to pray, or what's happening?
No, I think they went to go see it because apparently it was boarded up, and I think they were going to say, "Did you hear on social media that Mary's church is boarded up in the abandoned parking lot? Let's go see." Because it's also coinciding with the church being abandoned right after, some stuff has come out about her. So
but I thought Mary is not coming back.
I don't know what this woman is doing. I really don't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Maybe she got paid a lot of money. That's going to make me so mad. If I find that out, I'm going to be really I'm coming so hard.
She lost 30 grand by not showing up. And to me, that is a weak woman.
No, you don't understand. She's in danger. She's treading in dangerous waters, Andrew. Very dangerous waters.
That woman, I hope she gets the medical help she needs. But back to Noella, the thirstiest.
Oh, yeah, you've been dying. Okay, you guys, to be fair, Andrew's been dying to talk about Noella from Real Housewives of Orange County. And I know you didn't sign up for that tonight, but Andrew's been dying, and so I'm going to let him spill his tea because he wants to so bad to us.
First of all, this woman is incredibly calculated. The scene's been really resonating with me when she said, "I'll take my skinny girl margarita and sit over here by the pool." Okay, first of all, this woman, she said skinny girl margarita to make sure that Bethany Frankel's fans would be a built-in audience for her. And so that she could convert them. A small, just little she knows Bethany, she's paying her dues. And that's what I think this is.
Wow.
That's
clever.
Exactly. Because she's trying to because she knows that Bethany's a fan favorite. And that she knows since she's going up against another fan favorite, Heather, she's going to need the support of those people caught in between on social media. So I literally just can't with any of these people. Oh, hello. Oh, sorry. I just know someone who's in the comments.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. Well, you want to say hi to them?
Well, I think they know. Well, Miriam, hello. Miriam, I just want to say hi. But yeah.
Hi, Miriam. Okay.
So, and she's there. She's doing all these things. And I also find out that her husband, they wanted to make sure that they moved into an area in Orange County that filming was permitted. Because filming is not permitted everywhere in Orange County. That they checked with the realtor for these things, that they checked to make sure that the lights and everything could fit in, that the voltage would match the lights of the camera, that they would literally just be film in ready, being friends with people who were already on the show, paying to go to their charity events so that they could meet and see each other over and over again. This woman really wanted to be on this show. And I think when you come off so desperate, because that's what this is coming off as.
Yeah, Andrew.
Incredibly desperate.
Totally.
And I'm also
thirsty. Who's thirsty? She calls everyone thirsty. She's thirsty.
Yeah, she's the thirstiest woman alive. And between the fact that I can't fathom her fake storyline with her husband, with her soon-to-be ex-husband, because we don't know her ex-husband. We don't care about this woman. And I know this might be a bit of a stretch, but what if them getting a crazy divorce is to give her a storyline and a platform, because I know he has money problems right now.
Well, it wouldn't have been the first time that a couple used a breakup as a storyline to guarantee their position on the show. And if there was a problem,
literally Erika Girardi 2.0. I'm sorry, with Sweet James. He's a personal injury attorney in California as well. Also, did you see the LA Times report?
Here, let me roll through these really quick.
Yeah.
Noella.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, she has wanted. Yeah. Yep, everybody loves her going after Heather. No problem there.
Good
Noella. Oh my God, Noella. We got to get you. Okay, just follow along. Okay, she's the newest cast member on The Real Housewives of Orange County. She is like this very like kind of like a model looking girl.
Really, I find her to look too fake. She's too long. She's not.
She's very long. She's married to an attorney that's like a personal injury attorney named Sweet James, who's very famous in Orange County, and a lot of the housewives know it. And Andrew's giving you the backstory because we all know that Noella has like dedicated her whole existence to getting on The Real Housewives of Orange County. And it wasn't like they naturally selected her. It was like Bronwyn. She went desperately trying to get on the show, like posting on her Instagram every day to like get casted and noticed by casting. And she even went as far as to rent a house so she could, do it. She studied how to be a housewife. She befriended Bronwyn and then screwed her over and then took her position on the show. Like, she is thirsty.
Thirstiest woman alive. And then I also, okay. And before anybody comes for Jen, let me just say this right now before a tweet of Jen back in 2016 is going to resurface, because I have a feeling very soon something about Dr. Jen is going to appear that people might not
Okay, come on, don't tease it. What is it? Is a lawsuit another one?
No, it's not a lawsuit. It's the fact that she's a Republican and said some pretty bad stuff in the past.
She did. She's another one. Not the Republican part. I mean, that said bad things in the past.
I mean, oh my God.
I have no issue with anybody's
if we're going to be
thing.
this butthurt about like women, about these women and their political stance, then we just need to turn off our television, everybody, because I just think that if we're going to bring out the cancel brigade for every single one who said something a little wrong 5 years ago, then why don't we just turn off our televisions and never put it on again? Because
you're youth, you're like a young guy, so you're part of that canceled culture. I mean, we couldn't cancel anybody when I was young. Snap it.
Simpler times.
Yeah. When I walked to school, it was great.
So, but
yeah, she's planned it for years. You sound like you know her, all that glitters. What do you know, little love muffin?
But yeah, so something's going to come out of Jen, and I bet you they're all going to find a reason to cancel Jen too. And then she's not going to have another season, and and then Noella's going to be the only one left. And I think that's the problem with bringing so many new people on one season, that they can just kind of get lost. And I think Dr. Jen's getting a little lost right now with Noella's mammoth storyline, who's basically carrying this season.
Wait, what did you say? Who's carrying the season?
Noella's kind of carrying the season with all of her micro feuds with everybody. And Dr. Jen's just being left to the sidelines. I also don't see her husband the relationship with her husband really working out, which is a little disappointing. But,
Well, I mean, Noella is, I'm going to give you a prediction. Would you like a prediction?
I want you to gaze into your crystal ball.
My crystal comb. Okay. I believe that Noella to Bravo is like Brandi Glanville.
Oh, yeah.
And they brought her in so that she would nuke the cast and take on Heather, because everyone was afraid to take on Heather because they legit are like friends or in the same social circles. But Noella isn't. So she's like willing and able to take anyone out and like will do anything to do it, right? So I think they're using Noella exactly like they used Brandi Glanville in season 2 of my season, and then 3 and Beverly Hills. And I believe they will
season 10, I would say.
Bravo will use Noella and use her and use her and make her worse and worse and worse until the fans catch on. They'll like her at first because she's creating all the drama. And then they'll catch on that this is all bullshit that they're being fed. And though it's entertaining, it's getting old now because it's not real. And they will dump her ass as quick as they dumped Brandi Glanville after all the hard years that she gives. That's my prediction.
I definitely just feel that like they're going to use this girl because she's so desperate and so thirsty for their attention that when she finally gets it, she's not realizing that the game the network's about to play with her. And I mean, they're going to discard her like a used Kleenex in a couple seasons.
I mean, look at poor Brandi. She even came back and tried to give them another season, and they just told her basically she got like Andy Cohen on her 100th podcast. That was her consolation cry. And he basically was like, sorry. Thanks for coming on the show. Bye. He didn't care.
Did you see? She literally had her son beg on like.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
This is so sad.
Actually, I don't know if you saw my social media, but my son went on and begged Andy to hire Brandi back. That's what I did. I had him do a video.
Oh my God.
I know. Sometimes I do really. Sometimes I hit it out of the park. Sometimes.
That's true.
You should have done that. You're like a kid. You could have.
We should have done that. Oh my God, I should have done that.
You should have done that.
I know. Well, like, okay, and with all these people, like, I just was so like, ooh. And like, okay, I know I'm supposed to be loving this Orange County reboot like everybody else is. I'm liking the reboot. I'm just not loving it. Sorry, that's my cat.
Oh,
everybody.
Cute little kitty. What's your cat's name?
Patches, and then he hates my dog. Sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, no, nobody gets that. By the way, everybody thinks that's so. You are allowed to be in the California bar and have a registered address somewhere else, but I know that some of the other commentators like Emily Baker think it's really sketchy. It's kind of not the intention. You're not really supposed to do it. So
I heard from a little birdie that told me that just kind of was like, well, Sweet Baby James or whatever his nickname is. Actually, isn't that
Sweet Baby Jane?
James or like whatever his name is.
Sweet James, yeah. You're thinking about Sweet Baby Jane. That's what everybody makes fun of Erika Girardi and says she looks like that, like horror movie. And Sweet James is the attorney in Real Housewives of Orange County, the husband that just dumped Noella. Okay.
Well, and I also think that she's playing on Erika's last season on Beverly Hills storyline because their lives are a little too similar, in my opinion.
With the husband, trying to copy.
The personal injury attorney makes a mess of her life. We go to hate the personal injury attorney. She gets off scot-free. And speaking of Erika, there's actually two things that I wanted to talk to you about. Did you see the LA Times article that came out again?
No, what happened? Tell me.
So the State Bar of California did a thorough investigation.
Yes. You what? Go ahead.
The State Bar of California did a thorough investigation, found out that Tom was paying about 3 people in the bar officially to kind of just keep hush-hush and quiet about it.
They're investigating it now. That's what you're telling me about, right?
And that the investigation has concluded that 3 people that they know of at the bar so far who is currently working there, the State Bar Association, not the dive bar, basically were helping him commit these atrocious crimes. And then also today, Erika has been was given $750 million, given $750 million in jewelry from Tom Girardi during the divorce. Now she's going to have to get that back. Those, I think, are a pair of earrings.
Yeah, no, they said her argument back was, so what happened was Girardi Keys bought Erika $750,000 earrings that are now worth close to $1.5 million. And the court, the trustee of the bankruptcy said because Girardi Keys bought these earrings, that she should be able to give them back to the trustee to get the money for the creditors. And so they want the earrings back. And Erika, they know that Erika has the earrings.
She wore them on the show.
Something, yeah. I don't remember that part. And then I know that she filed a defense to that, which was she would like to take the earrings and put them in escrow because she had no idea where they came from, and that he bought them with client money from Girardi Keys. And it was bought with client money, not just Girardi Keys money. I'm sorry, I should have said that. So go ahead, Andrew. What do you have to add?
Well, I just think also that the bigger auction of the firm's assets are coming up soon.
Okay.
They've started so what Tom did is he was trying to hide, and this is pretty common through some people going through high profile bankruptcies, where the IRS is going to have to, well, the creditors or whoever's making you file for bankruptcy are going to have to take the big assets, like, most people have cars and houses and things like that. But, and I've spoken this a lot to you about this, Dana, is the fact that planes assets are incredibly easy to hide, because you can say that they were damaged, broken, shipped, sold, whatever you want, because it's just because no one really owns a plane. It's not a common occurrence,
Mm-hmm.
So we're finding out that they now have to go through a ravaged dog hunt, basically, witch hunt, to find these assets that he purposely hid, because at the end of the day, they wanted to hide assets. So once this was all free and clear, that they were all out of the woods of their legal drama, that they could still have about $20 million just to, nurse on till they died.
Yeah, and wasn't there a new account found at Western Heritage Bank?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sketchy.
Yeah, so all these things are sketchy ways, and I know exactly. So they hired a company, and I cannot believe I'm blanking on the company's name right now. It's like Agent Co. or Agent something, and it's in Costa Del Mar, California. And it's like literally their entire thing is to like help people sell high profile assets for a lot of money very illegally. Like not like on the cusp of being what's legal. And like they sell Lamborghinis, Ferraris, cars, planes, boats, artwork, and you just with a quick Google search, you can see that there's definitely a couple of the Girardi assets that have come up for sale there.
Totally. Yeah, sorry. I was like, yeah, go ahead, Andrew. Excuse me.
Yeah, that's all I really have to say there, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard this rumor. Did you hear this rumor? Hi, Rise. Did you hear this rumor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, glad we revisited that today. I don't lose around. Oh yeah, this is this is someone a little bit behind now. Let's see. Let me go down, see what other
Brandy's
people.
the worst. Yeah.
Let me give you some your thoughts, you guys.
Well, Dana, Brandi was in your house. I think that's what some people forget.
Yeah, no, Brandi is a bitch, but that's not why I said what I said.
Sorry, I just want to. I'm sorry.
I said what I said because it was really honest. Like, I really truly believe that Noella is going to be used by Bravo, thrown out and spit out in the same way. And that's what I think. Yeah.
If you guys, that's literally, if I was you, that would be like one of my proudest moments. I know that's obviously not, because if
you don't need to hear it, it's all in the LA Times. They've done multiple articles now about how awful the California bar has been. They need to do an investigation. Overhaul of that, and by the way, the plaintiff bars in general have not a proper checks and balance system.
So, and I paid the $500 an hour for one of the best attorneys in Washington D.C. in personal injury, who knew Tom Girardi personally, just to speak with him. So yes, I like legitimately paid for like a 2-hour interview with this man.
No way.
Yes way.
I love it, Andrew. I love it.
His name, Joe Camerata of Chake and Sherman Camerata Law Firm. He literally was like, he's a very big player in DC DC law and personal injury. And I was asking him, and he was basically saying, we all kind of knew what was going on with Tom Girardi. We just couldn't know how to say it. And it was better because who knows what would have happened if we brought him down. Who knows? This man was very powerful. And I was on the East Coast. We were separated by the Mississippi River. Why disturb it? Yeah. And that was basically what it was. And he said, there were people who challenged him, or disgruntled former attorneys who would come to us trying to start a new life. And, Tom would say if you hired them, like, there'd be hell to pay. And I think that Tom was, the sweet little innocent man that he portrayed, but realistically in the law world, if you were a former disgruntled employee, there was definitely a target on your back.
It's unbelievable, just the corruption that surrounds us. And it happens, the little people, I see like these people, like a guy steals a candy bar and he gets jail for 5 years, and then Tom Girardi steals money from clients in a Ponzi scheme and he gets nothing.
It's disappointing, and I
It
also
is. It's wrong.
But
yeah,
I mean,
I'm depressed now.
we all know that Tom's a
I've
crook.
gotten really sad now. I'm sad.
I know.
That's my sad face.
I know. It makes you lose hope in humanity because so many people in law, I feel like it's so common that people in law get swept up. They want to do good at first, and then they start getting swept up by the big paychecks, and before you know it, you're defending deforesting the Amazon.
Yeah, no, I think you're so right. Well, hopefully, you being in Washington, you'll have friends. I got some really disheartening information today, which I can't release yet, about something that looks so wonderful on TV, but that there's this big cause that's happening on TV right now, that a lot of young people are getting really excited about and behind. And it turns out there's all this like greed and corruption surrounding it. And I'm just like, wow, I just feel it's just, so dark. Anyway, I'm going to do an episode about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's every time I think there's something so great happening, and then I get the underbelly of it is so like terrible.
I know. And that's like what I feel like with so many different things,
Yeah.
I know. This is so grim. I cannot believe
we need to think of something to end this on an upbeat note. Like what can we end on? Something happy. How's college?
I'm making monthly favorite videos on my YouTube channel, everybody. If you want to see what luxury items I'm loving lately, if you guys want to buy your guide on to see like what people are loving, go over to my YouTube channel. I just made a January favorites. They've got some great things. I'll give you a little heads up. There's some book recommendations, La Mer skin cream I'm loving right now, and a Laura Piana cashmere throw blanket. If you guys want to hear more about those items, want to buy those items, there's a link in that description box in my YouTube channel. That's not an affiliate link. Unfortunately, Laura Piana does not want to be sponsored or affiliated with me. Maybe one day.
Oh, why?
I don't know. Maybe that's
so stupid.
I know.
You're perfect.
I know. I would love to get money from Laura
Well,
Piana.
if you want me to promote that link in the description, I'll add it to this becomes a recording, obviously, at the end. So I'll add it to the recording, and then people could click on it. Okay, we'll do that after this.
Yeah. Guys, please feel free to go subscribe to Andrew's Lifestyle or follow me on Instagram. I post tea, all that stuff. I've actually been a little bit quieter on there because I've been focusing more on like deep dives. So what I literally have done in a couple of my videos, I've literally gotten like an expo board like with string and like attached photos to things to show you guys how they're connected, because Instagram just wasn't working for me anymore. Like to show people in the little boxes. Hard, I needed the bigger space. So
I love it. Well, I follow you. I mean, I subscribe. I'm in.
It's a lot.
Huge fan, Andrew.
I know. And yeah.
Anything else?
Well, me and Dana hung out, and I don't know if we've done a video since then.
I know we had to take it off YouTube because it got like a copyright infringement because we were playing music.
Well, the Ritz
I put it on the Patreon, though. You can see it on the Patreon. The Patreons love it.
The Ritz was playing music, not us. So
yeah,
YouTube,
the Ritz was playing music.
We make you money, so YouTube, you should really be nice to us.
Yeah, I know, right?
But yeah, that was a lot of fun that we met, and we were in Georgetown. I'm trying to convince Dana to move to Georgetown. I think she would be great there. Maybe it will happen one day.
I might. I'm in Massachusetts, still figuring it out. I'm on an adventure.
Where will the wind take you?
I don't know. I'm just, I want no commitment to anything at the moment. I just want to be
free. Okay, do you know what might actually be cool? Have you ever heard of a place called Marfa, Texas?
No. What the hell's that?
Okay, you're gonna first think it's like this really cool arts town. So there was this very famous minimal artist called Donald Judge, and he
Okay.
lived there, and he turned this military base into this art studio, and it's become very like artsy. And there's like it's a big town. Like it's not like it's very in the art world. It's super affordable, and it's this beautiful town of Marfa.
Spell it. Do you know how to spell it?
Yes, Marfa. If you guys, it's so artsy. I think like it's very, if you want to like pass the peyote, it's like the place to be.
I would love to pass some peyote. I can't, do you know I haven't drank alcohol? Listen to me. I have not, you know, Dana loves to party, and I have not drank any alcohol for 17 days.
You're joking.
No, that's why I'm so clear. It's like
Oh my God.
I'm almost too clear. Like, dumb it down, bitch. Like, have a drink.
I'm so sorry. The legal drinking age in America is 21. If I was over 21, you bet your tuchus. I like, you know, I'm going to stop there because I'm sure I could get myself into some trouble.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm telling you this. Oh, that's not you. Don't worry.
I know.
Yeah, we were talking about Tom Girardi. He's the shit. Just FYI.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. I see you've been talking and I've been jumping around. Subscribe to Andrew. Yeah. Always support him. He's such a sweetheart. Don't end. I love it. You know what? Someday I was thinking of doing, Andrew. Do you think this is a crazy idea? I was thinking about doing like a sleepover party where I stay up all night, and then different people join in like throughout the night as they feel like doing it, you know, or they can just hang with me all night. I don't mind. Right. And like, we just kind of talk, gossip, and move subjects. And then as we get tired, like people could, you know, we could just be stupid and be like we do, you know, how you and I talk sometimes when we're offline. I'll be, you know, we go on like a tangent about something and it would be like dumb. And then I'd like go get a sandwich and, you know, like, do you know what I mean? Like just really real.
Yes.
You know?
That's honestly the best kind of conversations. And please let me know what day you're doing that, because we can.
Wouldn't that be fun?
And oh my God, we could give everybody a Latin lesson together.
Well, it's just like everybody could actually just tune in while we get more and more delirious, like at whatever point in the night. So like you'd be like, maybe you want to join at 8, or maybe you want to join at 10, or maybe you want to see what we're doing at 3 a.m, or maybe you want to wake up at 7. And what's that like? Like, I just think it would be such a fun, like,
I know.
Experiment, you know?
I do that during the Olympics. So like when the Olympics are on, because they're being broadcasted so many ways away, I stay up pretty much like all night watching those things.
Yeah, I think it would be so fun because, and then, you know, I would invite Ryan to come on. I'd invite Adam and Jason, and I would say David, come on. And I'd invite a whole bunch of people if they want to come in, you know, and then we could do that. And if I can ever figure out how to make the gosh dang phone system work on YouTube, you guys could, you know, we could have a little, like a call in once an hour or something. Which should be like to break up. You can?
Yeah.
Everybody's pissed at me because I don't know how to use the phone thing.
If you use StreamYard, I'll teach you how to use it. Yeah.
Okay, I have StreamYard. Can you teach me how to use it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, we're doing that. Can I schedule that with you to like tomorrow, a time?
Sure thing.
I love you. That's really helpful.
See, I love how our real life conversations are going on camera. You guys, this is seriously how we talk. Like,
I know all the time.
Me and Dana literally leave voice memos with each other, and it's the best thing ever. We will literally like.
You didn't get my joke today. I said to Andrew, I said, he wrote, "Did you see Jennie's apology?" And I went, "Holy shit, no pun intended. Get it, holy?" And Andrew was like, "What?"
I had the worst day ever. I literally had the worst day ever. And like the joke just flew over.
You were in a bad mood. I could tell. I was like, I thought my joke would cheer you up.
When you called me, I literally like lit up because I was like, this is what I need today. Like, this is honest to God what I need today. Like,
yeah, I can tell you were in a bad mood, but see, I've got you. I know, you know, I'm here. I'm here for you. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I am.
Well, we've been on live for almost an hour and 30 minutes.
I know. And you were like, let's keep it quick. I'm in a bad space. And I'm like, no, we're going to do it. You're going to do it. It's going to be great. That's my Muppet voice. I don't know where it comes from. Okay.
All right.
So we'll do the so we'll definitely work on this like 24-hour adventure. I think it would be a blast. And I'll spend like a day writing a bunch of shit up before. So we have loads to talk about, and we'll do like an all-nighter. And we'll just get more and more dumb and stupid, and like, you know, it'll be really interesting where it takes us. Yeah.
I literally, I know
It's like a
someone
Big
who's.
Brother, maybe. It's kind of like.
I know someone who would like. I used to know. I wasn't friends with them at all, but I knew people who do like 6-hour lives like every single night, and I was like, how? I can barely keep myself. Like, I'm sorry. I'm one of those people. I hate to hear the sound of my own voice. Like, I literally. So me and Dana were talking about Luann de Lesseps, and this will like be my last tangent. And I literally had to go back to a former like audio recording I did of recording this stuff, and I had to hear myself literally talk for an hour. And I said, "Oh my God, I hate this." And I literally had to have my sister come in and literally listen to my voice because I said, "I just can't do this. This is like nails on a chalkboard for me," which makes me feel bad for everybody else in my life.
No, you know what, Andrew, your voice is like a character of you. So it's lovely. It's great.
That's
Yeah.
so sweet. No,
It's
that's
great.
a real
It's
positive.
part of your like, you know, it's like, it's one of your elements that's special. You know, I have a weird voice. I mean,
I love
you know,
it.
so it's people know my voice before they know me. When
know.
I used to be on the show, I would be recognized not for my face, but for my voice every time. Yeah.
I know. It's a beautiful voice.
Uh,
And on that lovely note, ladies and gentlemen.
now we picked it up. Tom Girardi screwed it up, and then we got it back. All right, guys. Good night. I hope you had fun. I know this was last minute, and thanks for jumping on. I know you're all so busy, and there were so many fun things happening tonight. So I really appreciate you joining in and sharing the love. And if you like this channel, subscribe, like, and hit that notification button. Follow Andrew. I'll update the description of this in the next hour. If you want to revisit it tomorrow and get Andrew's intel and all that, I'll put it in there for you. So it's easy. All right, guys. Yay. All right. Bye, Andrew.
Bye.
Good night. I'm going to DM you right now to get your stuff. Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye.